Let's get into it. This young man has brought us week after week videos of Mr. Eric Worre, who lives here in Vegas. And I just love Curtis Evans because he breaks it down so methodical. He knows exactly what the team needs to hear. But more important, he's training you on the skills like Eric Worre's talking about. Curtis Evans called me up one day. I was getting to go on stage and said, listen, Thomas, I want you to bring me in the business and sponsor them into the business. But since then, him and his family are just taking off. He's a regional director. His wife is a director. Reggie Larson, his partner, is a regional director. He is close to getting the RVP knocked out. So without further ado, from South Carolina Crew Organization, the one and only, the great Mr. Curtis Evans.
I hope I can give you some information today that will help you grow your business, build your business, get it from where it is to where you want it to go. Now, one of the things I fell in love with because of a young man that was a security guard where I worked. Now, I told you everybody this story. I was minding my business in my office, and he came in and he said, "Are you interested in making any money?" Okay. And, you know, I would have paid him a whole lot more attention. It's just that I was making more than he was. Okay. So in my craziness, I couldn't understand. I just couldn't understand it. So finally, he kept at me. I mean, he didn't let go. I knew him. We talked, we ate lunch from time to time, but he wouldn't let go until I got a chance to see the presentation. I saw the presentation, didn't sign up right then, signed up a little while later, actually 9 months later, and got started. Now, there are a lot of me's out there. There are a lot of me's out there. And Al just gave a great example of how to meet me's, okay? People like myself. And everybody on this call is like me. Somebody introduced you to the business. Someone somewhere introduced you to the business. And that taught me network marketing. The first company was Excel Communications, and I learned a lot. Now, my upline unknowingly did the right things. They weren't really good at network marketing. And I'll say that they did not know what they were doing. Okay, but they did do one thing right. They got me to an event. I saw something bigger than just those 3 or 4 people that showed me the business. I knew there was more people doing this. And then I got a chance to meet some of those people at that event. They told me to go to another event. And a couple of weeks later, I was at another event in Atlanta, 4 hours away. And then a few months later, I was in another event called Acceleration. When I got there, I said, oh my goodness. It was, I mean, you know, it was something else. So I'm just telling you, and in the nicest way that I can, the secret sauce to this business is getting your people to see something bigger than you, okay? They think you are trying to get them to do something. But and one of the beauties of Al's call here with this 75 people on today, if you have someone new and they come on, they look at the call and they say, hold it now. I thought it was just Bob trying to show me this. There's a lot of people doing this. So get them on the call, okay? Get as many new people so they become part of the community. Now in network marketing, you can make money in network marketing in a lot of different companies, selling lotions, potions, soap, vitamins, whatever, you know. But you got to be a good aggravating. You have to get really good at aggravating people, okay? Because next month, you're going to want them to buy some more stuff, okay? And you are going to have to sooner or later buy a lot of stuff yourself to get your check. And that's going to be in the garage, okay? It's going to be a bunch of whatever in the garage. Our company does, I don't have anything in the garage, nothing, okay? And that's why some people are confused because they expect you, they want to know what we're selling. What are we selling? And we're not selling anything. So, but the beauty of ACN is residual income. See, most of those companies talk about residual income, but they don't produce residual income because they have to have a lot of people out there willing to aggravate people to death or get people to pay $200 a month on an auto ship of something they don't need. So in our company, it's a unique company. And I've been around network marketing a while. We looked through a lot of different comp plans, force major, all kinds of comp plans. This is the best comp plan you're going to be in. I need to let you know from my personal experience at looking at a lot of network marketing companies, that this is the strongest network marketing. You're in the thing, you're in the right one, okay? And so that's why Al will tell you all the time, he ends his conversation when I three-way him in with somebody with the same thing. This is the last one you're gonna do, because this makes sense. It makes sense because people are buying services anyway. If they're not in the business, if they're not in ACN, they're paying for these services anyway. If they're in ACN, okay, they're getting paid on them. It's just that simple. okay? So I want to share a couple of things with you today and make sure you understand it is great that you're in network marketing. The real reason you're in network marketing is because of leverage. You get a chance to leverage yourself. That's why people sometimes get upset the years later, 20 years later, 30 years later, and they feel like they're not getting anywhere. And the reason they don't feel like they're getting anywhere is because they're getting paid for 40 hours of work. And then one day they want to cut back to 20 hours because they want to do more stuff and they can't. And one day they want to cut back to 10. One day they want to go to 0 and they can't. They feel like they're not getting anywhere because they only have one check in the hole, okay? Now, I'm telling you a lot, but anybody who's been around the block a little bit understands that the reason you're doing that. And when they retire, they want to be able to retire with a check, a residual check called a Social Security check. And then they want to be able to do what they want to do every day. Okay, now that's great, that's good, but the Social Security check won't cut it. It's not going to be enough money to do what you want to do. It's going to barely cover the bills. It won't cover the bills. We know that for a fact. So wouldn't it be nice to be able to get a big, juicy Social Security check when you're 25 or 35 or 45 or 55? That's what we're offering people. And for the older folks on, they get a chance to enjoy that for the rest of their life and be able to live will it to their children. Okay, so you got to understand why you're doing this, because it takes work. This is not going to be a cakewalk. This is not going to be easy. And I think we kill a lot of people because it's easy. It's nothing easy. Anything worthwhile is if you knew how good residual income was, you'll work harder to get it. So I'm going to show a couple of little short videos, and then I want to make sure you understand the simplicity of our business. So let's see how much time I got. I'm trying to get this done. Okay, so let me get to share. When you get in this business right here, this is what you get. Now, we get an IBO number. That's my IBO number. So if anybody got a customer or something you don't know, you don't have an IBO number to stick it to, I just want you to know 03507314, just in case you can't remember yours, okay? But the goal, when someone starts a business, sell this IBO number. This IBO number is gold, okay? Would you like to have Al's IBO number right now? Yes. Would you like to have an SVP IBO number right now? Yes. They started like you did. So you got an IBO number and you want that IBO number to worth something. That IBO number pays you every week. It pays you every month. It pays overrides. It does a lot. So when they get into business, and I'll tell you, if you got a lot of people around, tell them, I got an IBO number and someone else has an IBO number. Do you have your IBO number? Do you have an IBO number? A new person say, no, you can't make any money till you get an IBO number. So that's what they're getting. In the old days, they used to get a kit. Right now, they get this. Now, this is the website, Crew Marketing. That's Reggie and I's website. Okay. Now I show them all the time right after the presentation. I show them right this services. They already heard it one time in the presentation, but this is what I show them. In our company, a person can sign up and get mobile phones right here. They click it, and I don't click it. I just show them mobile phones. Remember, that's one of the things we have. We have identity theft protection. I explain how easy it is to get that. I don't tell them, and we go through that in training. We have electricity and gas that people can sign up for in 19 states. We have healthcare, okay? And they can sign up for that here and get a quote. We have high-speed internet, television, and security service for homes. These are our residential services. And when people need these things, they can come here and get it, okay? We get a website. So you get your IBO number and you'll get a website just like this. Sell your website, okay? This is a big deal here. This is a fully functional website that can do business. I won't go through it now with you, but it'll do business with people all around the world. People in other countries, you can click the country and it'll change into that country so somebody can sign up, the language and all will change. This is a home-based business opportunity. And then what I next do to get a testimonial, because I just showed them the business, I'll go to the testimonial and I'll go here to success stories. It's lots of success stories. I'll just pick one, okay? And I'll just pick one. And I'll just use this one as an example. Okay, here we go.
When I first got involved in ACN, I was a single guy, now married. My why was to make money and pay off student loans.
I was a single mom raising my son, and he was on a traveling team. I just finished my master's degree when ACN came across my table. So along my journey, that's when I met James, and I just felt like it was a blessing that we were able to meet each other through the opportunity, through our mentor, and begin to lock arms and work together.
But as I grew, my why definitely changed. You know, we started a family, and you know, kids cost. So you know, when having that new experience for me, you know, to be a parent, now it's, you know, to make sure my family's taken care of, make sure that they're secure, that I can wake up and go to bed knowing that everyone is good, and that's what drives me.
I believe because of ACN, we're better parents. Being able to be there with your kids and actually watching them grow up, you know, having a teenager son, being there when he's going through that phase of life, being home with him when he has his ups and downs, being there when he's going through sports, being there with the little kids as we're walking them through kindergarten, that has been the big difference. When
you start to really look at what's most important in life, you start to realize that it really, if you really stop and really think about it, it is the people in your life that really are the most valuable. And so to have more time with them, if I knew when I first got started what life would be like, I would have worked 10 times harder to be able to have this quality of life.
I know if I wasn't in ACN, I know I probably would be like really exhausted, working 2 to 3 jobs, trying to make ends meet, and probably crying at night, not really feeling secure that my family is gonna be okay, whether we're here or not. And that's what ACN has given us.
I'm super passionate about ACN. You come to any event that I'm at and you're gonna know that you were there because I love this company. But what I would say is that I've grown through this company. When I first got started, I remember the first thing I said was like, I'll do this, but I'm not gonna speak in front of anyone. And to go from I'm not gonna speak in front of anyone, to speak in front of now hundreds of thousands of people, it's a process of personal development. The thing that I try and communicate to people, I say, you can get that there's money in ACN, you can get that there's a lot of great things in ACN, but what you don't see the first day you see it is who you're gonna become through ACN. You don't see that. And who I am right now is not at all who I was when I first signed the IBO agreement for him to get started in the business. This company, if you stick around and you fully engage it, it helps you transform into who you really know that you're supposed to be, but maybe you didn't have the vehicle to support it or the environment to support it.
So I want to start share there. So listen, and there are lots and lots of people, Al. There's a lot of people there on the success story. So depending on who you're showing the business plan to, pick somebody that you can, that may relate to that person. Because the information that we give them up front is so much information, they may not be able to get it. They may not be able to get it, but the quality of life is one of the things that ACN allows you. Sometimes Al says he goes on vacation. He goes when, I think I'm just go today, and he goes. That's quality of life. That's life. Those are things that people, sometimes if you talk money, they may not get it. They may not get the money side, but they will get the quality of life. And as they get older and older and older, they'll see that's something that they're missing there. So I want to be able to pass that on to you. I got one more thing, and we're going to shut this down, but I want to make sure you get to this part right here. Now, in the old days, we used to say readers are leaders and learners are earners, okay? And we used to do that by reading a lot of books, and we still do. But there's a lot on YouTube, and I just showed you an example off YouTube, off my website, which you have the exact same stuff you can do that with. Now, when we come into this business, I want you to point your people to RC, because RC is 200 points. So this is something people can do. They can get to 200 points. If you got 3 people that went to 200 points, actually 2 people that went to 200 points besides yourself, you will be an RD, okay? You're an RD. If you got 15 people that do it, you're an RVP. 15 RC, 50, because you got 3,000 points, divided by 200, that means you need 15 RCs, okay, over your time. And you don't have to get all of them. Some of your team can do that. So this is quite doable. I really want to bring you to this part right here, and I want you to pay real close attention to this comp plan, because this compensation plan is gold. And once you understand it, now I can't get you to understand it now, but if you go to YouTube, go to Tony Cook, watch that over and over and over again. I need you to understand you got to get to RC. And once you've done that and teach a couple other people to do it, you're an RD. It's just that simple. So teach a couple of people to go to RC. Before there was this big old gap. Al and I talked about it when he was here years ago. There's this gap between 30 points and 600 points. So big old gap between 30 points and 600 points. And most people get what? Discouraged, but no more. Now you got something there that'll help with that. So we're going to watch this real closely, and then we'll be finishing in just a few minutes.
And collectively, you've accumulated 251 services that you're getting paid on every single month. So when you look at this, just imagine what this can grow to be over time. Now I'm showing you 24 IBOs on your team. I'm sure that you and them are not going to want to stop. So as each of you continue to introduce people to the business, imagine creating momentum. When I use that word momentum, the question is how many new IBOs are joining your team every day, every week, every month? So imagine as everybody's working together, not just having 24 IBOs on your team. How would you like it if one day you had 24 new IBOs joining every single month or more, right? And that's the whole goal, is how much momentum can you create in this business? Now, for you to be paid through all 5 levels, there is a minimum requirement. So I'll break that down for you now. For you to be paid through your level 1 and level 2, you will need to have 25 personal customer points. For you to be paid through 4 levels, you will need 50 personal customer points. And for you to be paid through all 5 levels, you will need 75 personal customer points. So obviously you have time to do this as you're building your team. What I do want you to understand is when I show you this 75 personal customer points, it's not different than the 200 customer points I showed you earlier. Remember I showed you how you needed up to 200 points to get your 20%? So it's the same points. If you had 200 or more personal customer points, you're clearly over 75. So you're not only qualified for your 20%, you are qualified to be paid through all 5 levels. But what I want you to know is on your journey to get your 200 or more personal customer points, once you're at 75 or more, you will always be paid through all 5 levels on all the customers and all the commissionable revenue generated on your team. I want you to know that because when we designed this compensation plan, the one thing that we don't like personally is companies or jobs that have what we call quotas. Let's say weekly or monthly quotas. There's a lot of opportunities out there that, you know, they show you a great commission schedule, but they require you to do a certain amount of business every 30 days. And that just doesn't feel good to us. So we say, when you have 75 or more personal customer points, at that point, we don't care how little you work or how much you choose to work, you're going to get paid on the business that you built. All you have to do is get to 75 or more and maintain that. Okay. Now let's talk about how much you can earn. People always ask, how much can I earn in residual income in my business? And the answer to that question is simple. It's just based on how big of a business you build. You know, the more IBOs you have on your team, the more customers acquired by you and your team, the more revenue you're going to generate. Therefore, the more residual income you can earn. The sky is the limit. All I want you to do is think about what this can grow to be over time. Okay. Now let's talk about the last thing. It's overriding customer acquisition bonuses. I saved this for last because this is where you're going to generate a lot of your income as you're waiting for that residual income to grow. And now the customer acquisition bonuses, or CABs, these override, these are designed really for the people that want to build big businesses. And basically you're going to get paid upfront bonuses when you build a team of other people who get customers. I'm going to break that down for you. So here I'm going to show you exactly how the plan works, you know, how to achieve these positions and the benefit for doing so. All right. Now, if we stop here, everything I've showed you up to this point, you learn how to get, upfront customer bonuses every month for acquiring customers. You learn that you can get up to 20% on all the commissionable revenue of your personal customers. You learn that you get 4% of your team's customers through 5 levels of growth. Now what I'm going to show you is the upfront bonuses when those new people that join your team get some customers. So here's how it works. We'll just start from the beginning and work ourselves to the right. So you just started an ACN. Your first goal is to become CQ, and that's customer qualify. So how do you do that? You do that by acquiring personal customers totaling just 3 services and 7 points. So obviously I've seen people do this in their first 2 hours of becoming an ACN IBO. So, but I do want you to know you can take as long as you want to do this. You can do this in your first week. You can do this in your first month. You can do this in 6 months. That's up to you. Okay. But when you do, congratulations, you're now considered CQ or customer qualified. But what I do want you to know is that everything I'm going to show you here in these bonuses, if you want to earn bonuses for these first 3 customers, you have to do it within the first 30 days of your start date. Okay, so let's just assume we're all going to do that. So you just became an IBO, you just became CQ, you did it within 30 days of your start date, and you will earn $75 for doing that. So what I'm showing you now is everything over and above what we already talked about. Okay, so you just started, you got your first 3 customers, congratulations, you earned CQ and you earned $75 for doing that. Now your next goal is to follow the plan, and that is to become ETL. First, how do you hit ETL? You do it by just acquiring a total of 30 customer points between you and your team. The only rule is that a minimum of 3 services and 7 points have to come from you. So with that being said, you can acquire all 30 customer points yourself. If you choose to do so, congratulations, you just earned the position of executive team leader. Or obviously, if you build a team to help you do it, it's easier. So here's another example. Let's say you acquired customers totaling 15 points yourself, and you introduced 1 person who joined your team, and they also acquired customers totaling 15 points. Well, if you add that up, congratulations, you are at 30 customer points, and you just earned the position of executive team leader. Now, why do you want to earn this position? The way I like to describe it is as you move to the right, you're going to get paid more, but you're going to get paid better. Just remember how I described that. You're going to get paid more and you're going to get paid better. So as an ETL, you know, the benefit of being an ETL is in addition to getting that $75 for getting your first 3 customers at the executive team level, you will now get overriding customer acquisition bonuses. This is where it starts. So now, as an ETL, whenever you introduce someone to ACN and they get started, when they get their first 3 customers within the first 30 days of their start date and they become CQ, okay, not only did they earn $75, but from this point forward, you will also earn a $50 overriding cab when everyone on your team does the same thing. Now, see that arrow under the $50? Let me tell you what that means. That means it's unlimited levels. That means if you're the executive team leader and you have an IBO join your business who gets their first 3 customers in 30 days of their start date, congratulations. Not only do they earn $75, you earn a $50 bonus on them. Now, if someone joins your 2nd level, your 3rd level, your 4th level, it does not matter how many people join your team, every single new person joining your business now, from this point forward, when they get their first 3 customers in 30 days of their start date, you'll earn $50 in each and every single one of them. So clearly, it's better to be an ETL than it is to be just CQ. So you're going to have people on your team that are going to want to work their way up for the same reason, right? So let's say someone on your team also became an executive team leader. Now that could be someone on your level 1 or level 3, but somebody also earned the same position as you. From that point forward, they will pick up the bonuses on their team. And at that point, you will not earn overriding cabs on them. Now, this is your incentive to move up to the next position, which is RC. Now, how do you hit RC? To become an RC, you need a total of 200 customer points in your team. Now, again, you can get all 200 yourself.
Okay, so now here, this is where I want to make sure that everybody understands that we don't have the time to go through what he's about to go through. But when you get a new IBO in, we want them to be custom qualified. It does you good, it does them good. They get their first check, they see that it works. And number 2 is they are now qualified to make money. You can't get to ETL and RC without this. Now, in the old days, we used to point everybody at RD. And the reason we did was because that's where the money was. Jump between ETL, 30 points, and RD was 600 points. And people just run out of gas between now and there. Your job is to get to 200 points. Now, you can have 200 personal points, or you can have 100 personal points, and the other 100 could come from your team, okay? But get to 200 points so you become an RC, and it pays almost as well as the old RD position paid, okay? It pays very, very well. And it's very important that you understand your new people, if you point them towards CQ, they'll get to CQ and stop. You'll get to CQ and won't move. They think they did ACN. They'll tell everybody, I was in that. They'll tell people I was in that. If you point them to ETL, guess what? They'll get to 30 points and they'll stop because they think they did ACN. I mean, in other words, I did ACN. So we got this spot called RC. And if they get there, they'll make money on the way there. And when they get there, they'll be getting paid very, very well. So let's just watch this 1-2 seconds right here.
Or between you and a team, it's easier to have a team help you do it. The only couple rules, number 1, is out of those 200, a minimum of 15 customer points have to come from you. The second rule is we'll allow you to count up to 100 customer points in any one team. Now, why do we do that? We don't want everyone to just have one team and everybody gets to override one power leg, we'll call it. All right. As you build a business, you'll understand more of what I mean. But here's a visual of you becoming RC. So let's look at this. In this example, you acquired customers totaling 20 points yourself. Good job. And now let's say you have 3 teams that are growing. Now, even though you only see one person there, those individuals represent 1 or more people. I just don't have enough room on this screen to show you a network of people. Okay, but so let's say that those individuals represent 1 or more people in those teams. And your first team accumulated 30 customer points. Your second team has 120 customer points. And your third team has 50 customer points. All right, let's see if you earn the position of RC. Oh, well, good. You're obviously over 200. So congratulations. You achieved that. Let's look at the second rule. You need 15 personal customer points yourself. Did you do that? Yes, you're at 20, so you're clearly over 15. The third rule is we'll allow you to count up to 100 points in one team. So let's take a look at your teams. You have one team there, you see, that is over 100. It's 120 points. That's good, right, for building a business. But for purposes of getting this promotion, we'll allow you to count 100 of those. Okay, so let's add it up. Okay, you're still at 200. Congratulations. You just became an RC. I just want to spend a moment on this because I really want any of you that are serious about this business, get to RC as soon as you can, because as soon as you achieve this position, you're now going to start getting paid better for leading and paid better for helping other people on your team start building their businesses. Okay. So as I said, you get paid more, you get paid better. Let's talk about the more first. So the minute you get promoted to RD, first of all, congratulations. But from that day forward, any new people that join your business, they become IBOs. When they get their first 3 customers and become CQ in the first 30 days of their start date, instead of $50, ready for this? That now increases to $150. And that's unlimited levels of new IBOs that you're working with until you get to an ETL. Now, again, remember the previous position when you were in ETL? If you had an ETL in your team, you earned 0 on overriding customer acquisition bonuses. Well, that changes now. As an RC, that 0 now becomes $100. Now look at that ETL. See that arrow that just popped up under ETL? Let me tell you what that represents. That means unlimited levels of ETLs. So when you become an RC, anyone in your team that has not reached the same position as you as RC, we'll call that your open line production, meaning every single person on your team, no matter what level they are, when they help new people get started in ACN and they help people get their first 3 customers in the first 30 days of their start date, not only are your ETLs earning their overrides, not only are the new IBOs that are joining getting $75 for getting their first 3 customers, but you will get no less than $100 or $150 on every single new person joining your business who gets CQ in the first 30 days of their start date. So just imagine that, right?
I want to say in conclusion is before your RC came up, we used to work hard to get there. So that was our RD position. That was an RD position, very, very similar. It was a little bit more, but it was about that position. And it was with 600 points. So make sure that your people know that right now they got to get to RC. And they got to be good at creating RCs, really, really good at creating RCs. And that gets you to the comp plan. 15 of those get you to RVP. And we know that's when this game gets rolling. It really starts rolling at RD. So I'd like to thank you. In fact, we had Miss Dorothy Boykin last week. She got her letter from ACN that she hit her 100 points, actually got over 100 points. She was someone that was signed up in the Corbett McCrae's organization. And he talked to someone and they talked to someone and then they brought in Dorothy, as Kosha brought in Jackie, who brought in Dorothy, and Dorothy just brought a new IBO on about Diane Boykin on the line and Miss Mary Rimmer with her. And all 3 of those will be in Florida. They're going to Florida. So they're off to a good start. So I'm just telling you, that is what we have to do. We got to help people get to the convention and we got to help them to see RC. They got to see it, okay? And remember what James Adams said. If you knew how good it feels to wake up in the morning and have time and money, if you just understood what it means to have time and money, let's say $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 of residual income and time, If he knew how it was going to be that good, he would work twice as hard. But a lot of people never had it before. And so we sort of, that sound like a pipe dream. It's not a pipe dream. We got tons and tons of people that are doing that. And you can do it too if you can follow the comp plan and stay in the business long enough. So that's all I have for today, Al. Thank you very much for having me on.